Revenge is a dish best served cold, they say, and boy was mine about to get icy. 9 years of marriage down the drain because my wife Tiffany suddenly discovered girls' nights in the city. It started innocently enough once in a blue moon, but soon it was a weekly thing, sometimes stretching to 3-4 nights. Then came the booze, the messy hair, the clothes that looked like they'd wrestled a bear. Every time she stumbled in like that, reeking of cheap perfume and desperation, she'd try to drag me into what she called hot sex. At first I tried to play along, but it got old fast. The first time I said no, blaming a killer headache, she turned on me like ice, cold and distant. The next time she was so far gone she face-planted the second she crossed the threshold. I hauled her up, lugged her to our bedroom, wrestled her out of her clothes so she could at least sleep in some kind of comfort. As I pulled the sheets over her, she mumbled, "Okay, Mike, just one more time." My blood ran cold. "Mike? My name is Jason." I stared down at her, then at the pillow next to her, my hands clenched into fists. A dark thought, real dark, flickered in my mind. Ending it. Right then. But then, the slammer. Prison bars. That cold, hard reality snapped me back. 2 weeks later, my phone buzzed. It was my buddy Dave. "Jason, man, I hate to get in your business, but I took Sarah to this new club downtown. Tiffany's here. And dude, the way she's acting, you guys got issues." Thinking it was just another drunken night out with her girls, I sighed. "Yeah, she's out networking again." I shook my head, already bracing for the morning after. "Jason, this ain't no bachelorette party, man." "You sure you want to know?" Dave asked, hesitant. A pit formed in my stomach, cold and heavy. I grabbed a bottle of scotch, splashed a generous pour into a glass, and slumped into my living room chair. My phone chimed. Tiffany, draped all over some guy on the dance floor. Some stranger. He had her dress hiked up, her cheap lingerie pressed against his crotch, one hand shamelessly kneading her backside while she grinded against his bulge. I hadn't even finished the first shot when my phone buzzed again. Another picture. This time, his hands were buried deep in her ass, and they were locked in a full-blown, tongue-twisting kiss. My grip tightened on the glass. Where the hell would I hide the bodies? Then came another image. His hands were disappearing even deeper into her panties, her fingers clawing at his wrists. Another double shot of scotch. Then a video. Tiffany on her knees, a naked dude standing in front of her. Jenny, Tiffany's partner in crime, cackled in the background. "How long are we staying here, Tiff?" Tiffany, barely able to choke back a moan, gasped, "I ain't leaving tonight until Ray, Toby, and someone else heats me up again. I get so wet when they do it." Jenny's laugh was like nails on a chalkboard. "Looks like Cookies is getting another cream pie." Tiffany giggled. "As long as Jason keeps paying the bills, I don't give a damn if he's sitting at home waiting." Laughter erupted around the table. Right then, my house stopped feeling like home. I needed to get out. Keys, truck, drive. Just drive. I replayed my life in my head, trying to make sense of it. Why her? Why this woman, the one I'd built everything with, would betray me like this? I wasn't some nobody. 6'2", 260, built like a brick wall, red hair, sharp features. A few years back, I'd even joined a gym, got in the best shape of my life, all for nothing. I'd busted my ass building my company from the ground up. Not some Wall Street empire, but solid. Brought in around $2.5 million a year, after taxes, payroll, the whole shebang. Damn good living. But Tiffany, it was never enough. We need a bigger place to entertain clients. We need a pool so I can stay toned. I can't be seen driving that old thing. I need a housekeeper. We need a personal chef. The more I made, the more she wanted. Clothes worn once, luxury vacations, stuff we didn't need, all to keep up appearances. The next day, I hired a private investigator. Best money I ever spent. A week later, I was sitting in his office staring at a 3-inch thick folder he slid across the desk. "If you're planning on watching the DVDs," he said, grim, "I'd suggest another bottle of scotch." Inside, flash drives, videos, audio recordings. I locked them away in my safe, a ticking time bomb. 2 weeks later, more proof. Tiffany and her personal trainer, Toby, using the massage table for anything but massages. The positions alone would make a porn director blush. Our sex life at home? 0. She always had a headache. Turns out, her doctor wasn't just treating headaches. He was making damn sure she never got pregnant. Kids. I wanted them. She made sure I'd never have them with her. It was time for war. Divorce strategy. Protect my assets. Make sure she got exactly what she deserved. Then, karma. In aisle 5 of the local supermarket. Stunning woman, dark hair, standing in the checkout line. Little girl in the cart, clutching a stuffed rabbit. Cashier swiped her card. Declined. Flagged as stolen. Security swarmed. Treated her like a common thief. Her daughter, trembling, fear in her eyes. "Terry, where's the child support?" "What do you mean you're not paying anymore? You found a job in Mexico. She's your daughter too." She slammed her phone shut, body shaking, rage and desperation swirling in her eyes. The little girl clung to her, sobbing. Then cops, CPS worker in tow. As the woman pulled her daughter closer, the CPS worker reached out. "I wouldn't touch her if I were you," I said, voice calm but firm. One of the cops turned, recognition in his eyes. Jason Miller, what's going on?" "Bill, why are you harassing my housekeeper?" I said smoothly. "Housekeeper," he repeated, confused. "She came here to grab groceries for my place. I spaced on giving her my card, so she tried using her own, the one for child support. Turns out, her deadbeat ex is skipping to Mexico. Probably reported the card stolen to screw her over." Bill hesitated, glancing at the distraught woman, then back at me. "Jason, you sure about this?" I nodded, unwavering. "I'll cover her groceries. And Bill, if you need a statement, have your guys call me first." The CPS worker scowled, but Bill sighed, relieved. "Fine." As I paid for her groceries, the woman looked at me, tears welling up. "Why did you do that?" I smiled, a genuine smile for the first time in weeks. "Because I know what it feels like to be betrayed." That night, driving home, a thought settled in my mind. Tiffany had no clue what was coming. I turned to the CPS worker, smile playing on my lips. I suggest you call your boss before you do anything else. Jason Miller is involved. Bill looked at me, then at her. Is all of this true? Bill, why would I lie about my housekeeper? I replied, a touch of amusement in my voice. Bill looked at her again, then back at me. I'm satisfied. Still need to take the card, though. Maybe we can track him down. I glanced at the CPS employee. After a hushed phone call, her face went white. Yes, ma'am, I understand. I will absolutely let him know. I will apologize to him. She turned to me, eyes wide, a mix of fear and disbelief. I'm so sorry, sir. Please accept my apologies. Then she added, almost pleading, You are donating $1,000 to the charity event, right? Make it $2,000, I said, and tell Sarah we have a deal. I leaned down to the woman, voice low, businesslike. Are you done? No, sir, just putting these carts together. Sorry, she said, flustered. I'm sure no one deserves to be treated like that. As we headed for the exit, I told the manager what had happened. He looked at the cashier like he wanted to fire her on the spot. I hinted I might take my business elsewhere. He kept apologizing, practically tripping over himself. Outside, I asked the woman, Where's your car? I don't have one, she said, eyes downcast. Well, I think all this will fit in the back of my truck. You load, I'll drive. Daylight faded fast as we drove. I got a better look at her. Not bad at all. She pointed to a building that looked like it should have been condemned years ago. Drug addicts slumped in the doorway. One passed out cold right in front of the entrance. You live here? I asked, disbelief creeping into my voice. I had a bad feeling about this place. She nodded, shame in her eyes. It's all I can afford without a job. Small Social Security check for my daughter, that's it. Staring out the window, avoiding my gaze, I locked the truck. She led me up to the 3rd floor to a door hanging off its hinges. Looks like you've been robbed. No, it's always like this. Place isn't locked. Landlord just collects rent, won't fix anything. She looked down at the floor, defeated. Where does your daughter sleep? Small bedroom in the corner, pile of clothes on the floor. We sleep on this pile. My stomach churned. Is there anything here you want to keep? I asked, looking around the squalor. She dug through the clothes, pulled out a small photo album. Pictures of her daughter, younger. Just this. I picked up the little girl, carried her into the living room. Look around. Make sure this is everything you want. Noise behind me. I turned. Man standing there. What are you doing? That sweet ass belongs to me. Enough. Enough of this place. These people. A few moments later, the woman heard sounds. Furniture scraping, a loud crash. Something breaking. She peeked around the kitchen corner. Guy wasn't moving. Hole in the wall where his head had been. That's the landlord, she whispered. Looks like it's time to go. I smiled, a real smile, letting out some anger. Felt better than I had in weeks. Truck, extended stay hotel, the kind businessmen use. Any rooms available? I asked, handing over my card. Room 207, 2nd floor. Right out of the elevator, turn right. Clerk handed back my card, a key card. We headed up. Room. Big. She froze, looking around like she'd never seen anything like it. Maggie, go watch TV in that room. Close the door. Mommy needs to thank this nice man. Maggie ran off, door shut. My name is Sarah, she said, starting to unbutton her shirt. Sarah, I stopped her. I'm not that kind of guy. She looked confused. I pulled out my wallet, put $500 on the dresser. Clothing store across the street. You and Maggie need new clothes. She saw my ring, cut me off. Whatever you're thinking, I don't mess with married men. I looked into her eyes. Something there. Something real. Sometimes, I said, everything changes. Eat something decent. Play with Maggie in the bath. I'll be in touch. I had a lot to think about, and a plan to put in motion. Been turning it over in my head for weeks. First, Tiffany. Toby stepped out of his house. 2 guys, big, blocking his path, smiled, shoved him back inside. Why don't we sit down? Pushed him onto the couch. You've been a very bad boy. Someone wants a word. Knock at the door. One of the guys let me in. Hey, boss, was all he said. I stepped inside. Toby, pale, sweating, glued to the couch. I took the chair across from him. Hello, Toby. Thought it was time we had a face-to-face. Toby nodded, then pissed himself. Well, I guess you do know who I am. I chuckled low. Heard you and my wife been doing the tango. Dangerous for your health, Toby. His whole body shook. Want me to tell you what happens next? I'm sorry, Mr. Miller. I swear I didn't know who she was. She never told me until recently. You gotta believe me. I don't want to die. Tears streamed down his face. Sobs racked his body. I nodded to one of the guys. Slap, slap, across the face. Shut him up. I'll never see her again. I'll leave. New York, the country, I'll disappear. Never bother you or her again, please. I smiled, a cold smile. You think I need this, Toby? I don't understand. What do you want, Mr. Miller? I smirked. I'm here to make you an offer. Tiffany sneered, voice dripping poison. So you're leaving? You never deserved a woman like me. I already took my clothes, everything else worth anything from that dump. Just wanted to see your face when you begged me to take you back. In tears. I chuckled, shaking my head, dialed a number. Hey, she's on her way out. You can come in, change the locks tomorrow, install the security cameras. Tiffany's face twisted, confused. What the hell are you laughing at, Jason? You stupid. Ignoring her, another call. Hello, nanny service. Need a housekeeper. Start tomorrow. And a nanny who enjoys kids. Great. See you tomorrow. Tiffany crossed her arms, trying to regain control, but I wasn't done. Speakerphone, please, I said into my phone. Administrator of St. Luke's Hospital, Jason Miller here. I have compromising videos, photos of Dr. Reynolds harassing a patient, my wife. Lawyer will be in touch about the lawsuit. Have a great evening. Tiffany's jaw dropped. Tried to speak. Hand up. Silence. Another number. Mark? Relax. Social media first, then contact list. Thanks again. Tiffany's face went beet red. What the hell does this mean, you idiot? Why are you laughing? Sarcasm barely hiding the panic. Just taking care of some overdue business. I smirked, though calling you Well, insult to professionals. At least they get paid for their services. Tiffany's phone exploded. Calls, texts. I gestured to it. Think that's for you, dear. She hesitated, fingers shaking, answered. Hello, Grandma? Even from across the room, I heard her grandmother screaming through the phone. Tiffany's eyes widened. What video? Did you hear the audio? I'll call you back. Hung up. Front door swung open. Her older sister, Maria, stormed in, fury blazing. No hesitation. Grabbed Tiffany by the shirt, one hand, slapped her hard across the face with the other. You stupid, she hissed. I told you not to do this. Now the whole family, our friends, everyone in this town knows. Kept hitting Tiffany until she collapsed, sobbing. I stepped outside, cars pulling up. Her whole family, neighbors, friends, walking over. Turned to the crowd. Try not to break anything. I'm out of here. Hotel room that night. No sleep. 12-pack sub-sandwich. News. Screen lit up. Massive brawl outside my house. Every cop in the city. 3 ambulances for the injured. Next morning, checkout. Drove to the extended stay. Knocked on Sarah's door. Incredible. Maggie, too. Handed Sarah divorce papers. Finalized yesterday. Played with Maggie. Sarah looked up, tears in her eyes, smile tugging at her lips. Picked up Maggie. How about we eat? What do my 2 beautiful ladies say to that? Sarah kissed me, soft. Maggie kissed my cheek. Chuck E. Cheese. Laughter. Italian restaurant instead. Pizza for Maggie. Leaned in, whispered to Maggie. Grinned, nodded. Sarah raised an eyebrow. Down on one knee. Divorce finalized. Would you and Maggie make me the happiest man in the world? Marry me. Sarah covered her face, hands shaking. Maggie, loud whisper. Don't make me push you, Mom. Just say yes. I already gave him permission. Sarah finally pulled herself together. Yes, launched herself at me. Floor, laughter, kisses. Maggie jumped on top. Restaurant erupted in applause. 5 days later, St. Peter's Church. Vows. Sarah, no family. Parents gone 5 years ago. Familiar voice behind me. Tiffany's parents. Her father stepped forward, solemn, kind. If you'd like, I'd be honored. Sad smile. Despite everything, still family, Jason. And your beautiful bride, too. Cheryl, smiling, nodded, embraced them. Thank you. Means a lot. Altar. Maggie, rings, white dress, angel wings. Sarah holding Paul's hand, floating towards me. Vows. Husband and wife. Maggie exclaiming, Finally, I have a daddy. Tiffany. Cayman Islands dream gone. Basement in her parents' house. Sarah, Maggie, me. Waiting for our son. 2 months to go. Thanks for listening. See you next time.